Live from WATN Memphis, this is ABC24 News Midday.
Now on ABC24 News Midday, a graduation brawl live streamed on Facebook. The new details we're learning about this fight, as well as the consequences the students involved in this fight are now facing. Plus, this morning's wet weather caused a mess on Mid-South roads. A look at the chaos this weather caused during the morning commute. And one group of residents in a Mid-South neighborhood are tired of the blight they're seeing in their community. How you can help them clean up this weekend. We begin this midday with breaking news coming out of downtown Memphis, where Cleotha Abston Henderson has been sentenced to 80 years after being found guilty of raping Alicia Franklin. He will get credit for time served. During his week-long trial in April, prosecutors argued Henderson raped Franklin after meeting her on a dating site. His attorneys argued that the sex was consensual. Henderson received the maximum sentence for the 3 charges he's facing. Aggravated rape carries a 40-year sentence, aggravated kidnapping carries a 20-year sentence, and being a felon in possession of a firearm also carries 20. He is also expected to stand trial for the 2022 raping and kidnapping of Eliza Fletcher, where he faces the death penalty. No trial was set in that case, but tonight on ABC24 News at 5 and 6, you'll hear from both Abston Henderson's attorneys as well as Assistant District Attorney Paul Hagerman. Also breaking right now, a man is fighting for his life this midday after a shooting this morning. Memphis police say that the man was shot on Crown Imperial Drive near Woody Lane just after 7:30 this morning. He is rushed to Regional 1 Hospital in critical condition. Police are telling us that the suspect is known to the victim, but no further details were released. When we find out more information, we'll be sure to let you know here on air and online.
Please stay seated. Please stay seated. Please stay seated.
Well, it's supposed to be a happy time for students as they walk across the stage to receive their diploma, but that all turned into chaos when a fight broke out on the back of the stage at Hamilton High School's graduation ceremony at the Cannon Center. Good morning, and thank you for joining us here on ABC24 News Midday. I'm Noah Sershin in for Yvonne Cooper. We're learning new details about this fight that made the rounds on social media overnight. Memphis police say that the student threw his diploma at another student because the other student was throwing up gang signs. Police say the security guard quickly grabbed the student who threw the diploma, and the other student jumped 3 rows and started fighting him while he was detained. Investigators say 2 other students also started hitting the detained student. The security guard pepper sprayed one of the students to stop the fight. No students were injured in the fight, however, they were issued misdemeanor citations and were released to their parents. New this midday, 8 cars were broken into outside of the FedEx supply chain on Tuggle Road early this morning. Police say the break-ins happened just this morning. Thieves made their way into the parking lot by cutting a hole in the fence. Unfortunately, there is no video of the break-ins because the security cameras in that area do not work. Thieves broke into multiple cars as well as a Buick Enclave and Dodge Ram truck. Thieves were able to get away with over $300, a black ring, and a pair of AirPods. FedEx released a statement saying, quote, "Safety is a top priority at FedEx, and we are cooperating with law enforcement as they investigate this incident. In addition, we are taking the appropriate steps to enhance certain security measures at our Tuggle Road facility," end quote. Caught on camera, 3 men steal a car at an East Memphis restaurant at gunpoint. Memphis police say that the auto armed robbery happened just after 1:30 in the morning. The suspects came into the restaurant in a white Nissan and stole a 2021 Infiniti Q60. They broke the sunroof of that vehicle and crawled inside. As the owner came to the car, another suspect pointed a handgun at the victim. No arrests have been made in this case, but they are looking for 3 men all wearing hoodies. Police say that the vehicle the suspects were driving was a white Nissan Maxima with side damage. If you have any information about this theft, call Crime Stoppers at 901-528-CASH. Memphis police also need your help identifying this man who is accused of carjacking. It happened Thursday at the Deerfield Apartments in Memphis near Sycamore View and Raleigh-LaGrange Road. The victim of this carjacking told MPD he gave a ride to an unknown male, and after he stopped, the man pointed a gun and demanded the victim's 2014 Nissan Versa. The man then shot the victim in his lower right leg. MPD says that the suspect is also responsible for robbing people outside of Waffle House. If you can help police identify this man, you are urged to call Crime Stoppers. Memphis police have made an arrest with a robbery that happened Thursday. Police say that 22-year-old Jalen Simpson shot a man and drove off with his 2017 Kia Cadenza. When officers got to the scene, they found a man suffering from a gunshot wound on West Horn Lake Road. Later that morning, officers spotted Simpson in a vehicle. When they attempted to stop him, Simpson fled off. Simpson's vehicle came to a stop on Lamar Avenue and then ran away from the vehicle with a backpack. Police were able to catch up with him and take him into custody. Police found a handgun that was in the backpack that was stolen from the vehicle. Simpson is charged with attempted first-degree murder, aggravated robbery, theft, and many other charges. Well, today, after many threats across the country, those situations have many pastors here in the Mid-South preparing for the worst with training. Brown Missionary Baptist Church in South Haven, Mississippi will hold their 5th annual Protecting the Flock Security Conference. The goal is to teach others what they would do if there is a threat at church. The conference will be taught by the church's emergency response team, which has years of law enforcement and security experience. Executive Pastor Derek Anderson said that it is now more important than ever to make sure church leaders are prepared.
Times are changing. Department of Homeland Security sent out a notice stating that houses of worship should and must arm themselves and protect themselves from threats. And so our heartbeat is for ministry, our heartbeat is for the people, and we want people to be able to be safe regardless where they are.
The 2-day security conference is already underway. If you want to join, registration is required. A man is in the hospital this midday after being ejected from a vehicle in a crash. It happened just before 11 last night. Sheriff's deputies said that they responded to a 3-vehicle accident where a vehicle ran off the road and struck 2 parked cars in the 4800 block of Harv's Knoll Lane near Shelby Drive. The man ejected from the vehicle was taken to Regional 1 in critical condition. And in Parkway Village, this morning's wet weather caused a mess on Mid-South interstates. A jackknife fuel truck blocked the off-ramp on I-240 eastbound to get onto Getwell Road just after 8 this morning. There is no word on how the driver is doing this midday. A crash in Collierville knocked down a utility pole this morning. Police say that the crash happened just after 7. Drivers were told to avoid the area. It's unclear if today's wet weather played a role in the crash. Well, right now you're taking a live look from our T-Dot SmartWay camera. This is a look at I-240 at Poplar Avenue, and it's been a cloudy start to this Friday with some storms in the area. Meteorologist Trevor Burchett joins me now with a look at the forecast. And Trevor, how are we looking now after this morning's storms?
Right now we're looking pretty good. There's a little bit of mist and drizzle in some spots, but many of us are just seeing cloudy skies. You can see that over downtown Memphis. We're looking back from the T-Dot in West Memphis toward downtown. You see the skyline there in the distance, and some of those low-hanging clouds bringing in a little bit of that mist and drizzle to the Mid-South. For many of us, though, we are mostly dry. There have been a couple of showers in parts of the Mid-South this morning, but again, right now we're mostly dry, aside from a little bit of mist and drizzle in a couple of spots. It's 72 in Truman right now, 76 in Forest City, 70 here in Memphis, 66 in Bolivar, and 68 in Oxford. I am going to leave in a slight chance of a storm or two this afternoon. I know we're mostly dry, but as we get later on into the day, a couple of more storms could try to pop up. It's not going to happen everywhere. I still think most of us are dry through the rest of the afternoon and into this evening. But overnight tonight, a couple more showers not out of the question. We've got more details on that and the weekend forecast just minutes away. And a heads up, the Shelby County Health Department had to postpone the National Bike to Work Day because of that rain and weather this morning. The new event going to happen Monday at noon.
Trevor pulling double duty for us this midday, thanks. Well, this midday there is a push to clean up Memphis. Residents in Orange Mound are preparing for a weekend of service to tackle the blight in their neighborhood. And this morning, they need your help. ABC24 Stephen Reels is live there in Orange Mound with a look at how you can get involved. Stephen, good morning.
Good morning, and it's really quite simple and really could not be coming at a better time for here in Orange Mound because according to the city of Memphis, there are about 15,000 code violations, including blight. So the Orange Mound Blight Patrol is hoping to get involved. It's mainly at the intersection of Saratoga and Grand this weekend. On your screen is going to be what I saw yesterday when I went to that intersection. You can just see trash littered everywhere across the sidewalk, from furniture like drawers, you see cans, but you also see clothes like pants and discarded tires. And right now, Warren Banner, who is leading the Orange Mound Blight Patrol, he's wanting to help change the narrative of the community by tackling blight and crime as a result.
there's people that go out, and they put their stuff on like, put it on the curb, and like when they get out, they kind of dump everything on the curb, and that's wrong. That's making the community look bad. When I see the news, everybody talking about blight, so my team go out. We go out and clean the neighborhoods up.
And Yvonne, just again, that community cleanup is going to be happening this Saturday starting at 9 a.m. going until 11. That's going to be happening at the intersection of Saratoga and Grant Street. But for now, live in Orange Mound, I'm Stefan Rios.
All right, a lot of work still needed to be done in that community. Thanks, Stefan. Well, happening today, will be hosting their Feed the Community drive. There can only be 3 families per car, and each family must show an ID. It's going on right now until 1 this afternoon. And now to some local good news. In Mississippi, state test scores are out, and more than 75% of Mississippi 3rd graders passed the reading test. That's according to the State Department of Education. DeSoto County ranked higher than most schools, reporting more than 83% of 3rd graders passed the reading assessment. But that's a different story for Memphis-Shelby County schools, where 76% of 3rd graders aren't at reading level. Superintendent Dr. Marie Fagans has a plan to hire literacy coaches for grades kindergarten through 2nd. That's a part of her $2 billion budget. Well, on September 11th, 1957, the first group of black students integrated Central High School in Little Rock. Today marks 70 years since the United States Supreme Court made their decision in the landmark Brown versus Board of Education case that outlawed segregation in schools. Well, the school district at the center of that case is making history yet again. For the first time, the Topeka School District is led by a black female superintendent. Her name is Tiffany Anderson, and while she's been the superintendent, she has added food and clothing pantries to schools. Graduation rates have skyrocketed during her 8-year tenure. The superintendent says she remains guided by the light of the Supreme Court decision. And to celebrate this anniversary, President Biden is at the African American Museum in Washington, D.C. Tomorrow, he will head to Detroit in the swing state of Michigan to speak at an NAACP dinner. Next on ABC24 News Midday, chaos erupts during a committee meeting in Washington, D.C. between 2 lawmakers. A look at the argument between Marjorie Taylor Greene and Jasmine Crockett as they vote on the future of U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland. Plus, the end of the school year is near for most districts and municipalities in the Mid-South. Just ahead, how you can keep your child busy this summer and out of trouble with some summer programs. And while we were lucky to just see some thunderstorms last night and into this morning, people in Texas are surveying the damage after deadly storms tear through the Lone Star State. The urgent plea from Houston officials as the death toll rises. Welcome back to ABC24 News Midday. A late-night House committee meeting went into chaos. The verbal fight between Congress members happened when Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene talked about Representative Jasmine Crockett's eyelashes. ABC's Christiana Cordero has the latest from Washington, D.C.
A hearing among House members became personal overnight, with verbal attacks taking priority in the Oversight Committee for over an hour.
Mr. Chairman, this is out of control.
The hearing was supposed to be about Attorney General Merrick Garland's refusal to turn over audio tapes of President Biden's interview with the special counsel, with Republicans pushing he be held in contempt of Congress. It veered off course when Republican Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene made comments about Democrat Representative Jasmine Crockett's eyelashes.
Do you know what we're here for? You know we're here about
I
don't think you know what you're here for.
Well, you the one talking about, I guess.
I think your fake eyelashes are messing up.
No, ain't nothing.
Hold on.
Listen.
Order.
Democrats then moved to censure Greene.
That is absolutely unacceptable. How dare you attack the physical appearance of another person?
Are your feelings hurt?
Her words down.
Aww.
Oh, girl, baby girl.
Oh, really?
Don't even play.
Baby girl? I don't think
we are going to move and we're going to take your words down.
Crockett later fired back with her own personal insults as Chairman James Comer struggled to regain order.
I'm just curious, just to better understand your ruling, if someone on this committee then starts talking about somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body, that would not be engaging in personalities, correct?
What now?
Chairman, I make a motion to strike those words.
In the end, no apologies were made. Proceedings were delayed about an hour. The committee eventually recommended Garland be held in contempt. That now goes to the full House of Representatives. Christiane Cordero, ABC News, Washington.
All right, a lot of back and forth in D.C. Developing this midday, it's a day off in Trump's criminal hush money trial. The former president instead is planned to attend his son Barron's graduation in Florida. The trial is set to resume on Monday with Trump's former fixer Michael Cohen's last day on the stand. There's a lot of mixed reaction around the country this midday after Texas Governor Greg Abbott pardoned a former Army sergeant in the death of a Black Lives Matter protester. Daniel Perry claims he shot in self-defense when he shot and killed Garrett Foster 4 years ago during a Black Lives Matter protest in Austin, Texas. Perry was convicted of murder and sentenced to 25 years in prison. Governor Abbott pardoned him yesterday. Back here in the volunteer state, Tennessee Highway Patrol is honoring state troopers and other law enforcement officers who died in the line of duty. The THP Memorial Service took place at the THP Admin Headquarters in Nashville. Commissioner Jeff Long, Colonel Matt Perry, family, and friends of the fallen officers were all in attendance to commemorate the law enforcement officers who have given their lives in service to the state, and certainly we thank them. Happening today, parents are invited to the Memphis Rock and Soul Museum for the Memphis 901 Passport Kickoff Kickback. In this program, kids can visit programs in Shelby County for free this summer. The programs is for students in grades kindergarten through 12th. The party is set at 11:30, so you still have time to get there. Well, folks, take a look at this video behind me. This is video coming out of Houston, Texas from last night's storm. Thankfully, we didn't bear the brunt of that storm, but officials say that 4 people are dead in Houston and it can take weeks for power to get restored. Close to 1 million people are without power after near hurricane-force winds swept through the city last night. Now downed trees and debris line the streets of Houston. School districts canceled classes, and city officials are urging residents to stay off the roads as cleaning could take days.
Please, Houstonians, area residents, stay away from downtown. It's dangerous. There's broken glass in every direction. So I want to emphasize, use common sense. Be smart. Don't be out today on the roads. 2,500 traffic lights are not energized.
All right, certainly a long recovery for those in Houston. For those here in the Mid-South, there was no damage reported, but a couple hundred MOGW customers were without power.
Right now, the Mid-South certified most accurate forecast.
All right, let's get a check of that weather forecast. I want to start you out with your draw the weather forecast of the day. This one's submitted to us from Sebastian. Did a really good job showing those lightning bolts over Memphis and got the pyramid colored in green down there too. Didn't see too much lightning today, but we did see some of that rain this morning. Now we've cleared up a little bit. We're still mostly cloudy over downtown, but there are some areas of light mist and drizzle in parts of the Mid-South. Many of us are dry right now. The radar's kind of cleared out, but again, once you get out and moving a little bit, you might feel a little bit of drizzle in some neighborhoods, and that's going to really be possible through the rest of the day. Later on this afternoon, there could be a couple of those pop-up storms that develop. I think that's going to miss most of us, but don't be surprised if you do see a quick downpour at some point this afternoon. Many of us dry for the rest of the day with highs right around 80 degrees. You see these rain chances, they stay pretty low, but I am going to keep them at 30% for the rest of the day and into this evening just to account for the possibility of some of those pop-up storms. I still think most of the evening is dry with those temperatures hanging out in the 70s and eventually falling into the 60s. Overnight tonight, the same story. There could be a quick pop-up storm at some point somewhere. I still think many areas are dry overnight tonight. Now, as we take a look at your weekend forecast, there is a slight chance of a storm or two for your Saturday as well. That's really going to be very isolated. Most areas will not see any rain tomorrow, but once again, a couple of those pop-up storms not completely out of the question. Your high temperature right around 81 degrees. Sunshine and 87 for your Sunday. So really most of the weekend looks good. It is going to be warmer for Sunday. That might be a good day to go ahead and get that pool open. I know we've been thinking about that because it is going to warm up into next week. Nearly 90 on Monday with sunshine, 88 with a mix of sun and clouds for Tuesday. So a nice and mostly dry stretch of weather coming up now. But as we get in toward the middle of next week, it looks like a couple of more chances for spotty showers, maybe a rumble of thunder. That would be Tuesday night into Wednesday and Thursday. But again, for today, mostly dry, just a slight chance of a pop-up shower or storm at some point. Of course, you can get the latest forecast through the rest of the day anytime at ABC24.com. You can also follow us with the free ABC24 app that is a free download for iPhone and for Android devices.
Thanks, Trevor. Well, the smell of barbecue is making its presence all around Liberty Park, Midtown, and downtown today as the competition at the dueling barbecue cooking contest is underway. When we return, where you can get some pork on your fork? Hey, that's the question we all want to know. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Memphis Shelby County Airport Authority has approved a new budget, and it will increase the fees that airlines pay as well as terminal leases. Airport officials say that these rate hikes will go towards revenue and a series of benefits for flyers, including a $5 million project for parking enhancements. New data this midday shows that Mississippi and Arkansas are two states that are the most vulnerable to online scams. According to a study by Vegas Gems, Mississippi is #1 based on Google searches. Arkansas is 4th on the list. ABC24 News is seeking solutions to help you prevent cyber scams. First things first, do not open emails from people you do not know. Also, be cautious with links and new websites, but you need to be careful with giving out your personal information, so it's best you secure it. And always use strong passwords. Some big changes are coming to Visa credit and debit cards, and they might make your wallet just a little bit thinner, but not in the way you think. The biggest change is banks will soon be able to issue one card connected to multiple bank accounts. The feature is already available in Asia, and it's set to hit the US this summer. Visa also says you'll be able to tap your card on your smartphone to add it to your mobile wallet or approve a transaction online.
Check this out. If you are driving around and smelling a little barbecue in the air, maybe a little more than usual, remember this weekend you can grab a bite at Smoke Slam. The festival ends tomorrow at Tom Lee Park, but Memphis in May's Barbecue Fest competition is just down the road at Liberty Park in Midtown until Sunday. And looking ahead, the Grizzlies will host a cashless garage sale tomorrow for Grizz memorabilia, signed items, and all things from previous seasons. All that money raised is going to go to St. Jude. The big sale starts tomorrow morning at FedEx Forum in the Grand Lobby. All right, a final check of your weather forecast before we go. It is a little cloudy out there this midday, but a lot of the rain has scooted out. Still a little misty, still a little drizzly in some spots, but all in all, it's not all too bad right now. And for the rest of the day, I do expect it's going to be mostly dry. There is a slight chance of a pop-up storm or two by the afternoon. Same story tomorrow, just a very slight chance of a pop-up storm. Otherwise, the weekend mostly dry and sunny by Sunday, warming up with a couple of more chances for showers as we get into the middle portion of next week for Wednesday and Thursday.
That weekend forecast looks great. Thanks, Trevor, and thank you all for being with us for ABC24 News Midday. Yvonne and Ruben will be back Monday. We'll have the latest on the sentencing of Cleotha Abson Henderson tonight on ABC24 News at 5, 6, 9, and 10 with Rudy Williams, Pepper Baker, and Richard Branson. We'll see you then. Have a great day and weekend.